In the world of college sports, nothing gets the heart going and the blood pumping quite like a rivalry. Whether it's the Civil War game or the backyard brawl, it seems the closer the schools, the tougher the fight. The rivalry between Florida and Florida State is no different. The two schools have been playing each other in football since the late 50s, so the flames of the rivalry fire have been fueled for decades. Whether these schools are meeting on a baseball diamond, football field, or in a swimming pool, every year that passes and game that is played just heats up the rivalry even more. It came to a boil Friday night as the UF's men's rugby team took on FSU at home under the lights on McGuire Field. Former Gator rugby player Ben Walker says the rivalry between the two rugby teams goes back a long time, but has increased in recent years.
Well, it used to be really intense about 7 years ago, and then there was a break because Florida kind of dropped off the map with rugby, and so did FSU to some extent. But for the longest time, they didn't play because Florida's Division I and Florida State was Division II, and now that they're both in the top division, they're the only two Florida teams in Division I, so the rivalry is more intense because it basically decides who goes to the Sweet 16 spot and who doesn't. It's just the same as the football rivalry. You get trash talking on both sides.
Like brothers forced to fight against each other in the Civil War, this rivalry often forces friends to have to line up against each other on opposing sides. High school friends Corey Penka and Kyle Klein called each other teammates for years, but when Penka went to UF and Klein FSU, they became rivals.
Oh, it's great. Rugby is one of the bases of me and Kyle's friendship. That's what we first started playing with when we first met back in high school. We pretty much started a team together, me, him, and my brother in high school, and we played together for a year at FAU when we lived together, and then he went to FSU, I went to UF as transfer students, and there's been a lot of trash talking up to this day. This game was supposed to happen about 3 times in the past 2 years and got canceled each time, and this was finally it finally happening, and it was fantastic. It's kind of strange playing him too on the field because you see him and you don't see him as your friend, you see him as opponent, and it's strange. And then after the game, it's just like, oh, there's Kyle again. It's like he disappears for 80 minutes and turns into a Seminole, and then comes back as Kyle after the game.
Klein says playing against his friend only adds to the game.
It's endearing because I know what a great player he is, and I think he respects me as a player, and it's just another challenge. And I'd rather go up against someone like Corey because I know it's going to be a challenge every time, and it's a great matchup. I feel like it was a harder hitting game, a faster paced game. You could see it in everyone's eyes. When you were standing there on the defensive line, looking at them, and they were running at you. It was definitely it was more than just a game tonight.
Many players on both teams know each other, but that didn't make the match any less hard-hitting. Rugby players say their game is one of elegant violence, and this match was no different, with both teams showing up full of intensity, ready to collide head-on into each other. UF player Fernando Carlo says UF and FSU players, as well as their fans, showed up ready to go.
It's definitely a little bit chippier, as you saw out there, and a lot more intensity. Friday games always bring us more fans, and it's Florida FSU. Everybody wants to see that.
Rugby players do not wear pads, and the sound of bone-crushing hits echoed across the field throughout the night.
Get there, run! Go, let's go!
Penka was hit in the nose, staining the green grass red with blood.
I got a pass from a person, and he was being tackled, and his head kind of whiplashed into my nose. And then I guess it broke, and it gushed blood.
In the end, the home team came out on top, but Walker says any bitter feelings are left on the field.
Both love each other. They both love each other off the field, and these guys are going to have a great time tonight. But on the field, they're absolute rivals. They're arch enemies.
The two teams ended the night singing and celebrating together at Mother's Pub. Friends again, at least until they meet up in the state playoffs later in the season. For Front Page On the Air, I'm Lee Ziesche.